Hi, welcome to my video about using the snipping tool. Now, this video is primarily for Windows 10 users, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. Now, you have been able to use the snipping tool as far back, I believe, as Windows Vista. I don't remember for sure if it was in Windows XP or Windows Vista, but I think it was at least in Windows Vista. At any rate, you can use it if you still have Windows 7, Windows 8.0, or Windows 8.1. Now, the reason I say this is primarily for Windows 10 users is because prior to Windows 10, you were able to create print screens by using a button on the keyboard or a keyboard shortcut. However, starting with Windows 10, Microsoft, for some reason, decided not to support those key combinations anymore. So, starting with Windows 10, you have to use the snipping tool in order to get a print screen. Now, what's a print screen? If you haven't watched the other video, a print screen is simply a picture of whatever's on your screen at the moment. So I want you to do print screens because that will show me that you actually completed the commands that I wanted you to do in the homework. Now, how do you get the snipping tool? Well, there's a couple of ways to get it by going to apps, but the quickest way to get to it is by simply going to your search bar and typing snipping. S-N-I-P is all you really have to type, and it comes up with the app for the snipping tool. Now, to start the snipping tool, you simply click on it and you get a little menu item here. A little menu window. Now, to create a new snip, as it's called, which creates the picture of what appears on your screen, you could click New here where the icon is, but I don't want you to do that. If you click the New button, it's going to use whatever settings are the default for the snipping tool. What I want you to do first is to click the triangle here and make sure Window Snip is selected. Now, what Window Snip will do for you is it will capture only the contents of a window, and that way all you'll get for the print screen is just the command prompt window showing the commands you were supposed to type in. Now, once you have that option selected, when you move your mouse around, part of your screen will get grayed out. I'm not sure if you can see that part of my screen is grayed out, but not the command prompt window that I'm hovering over. So to take a picture of just this command prompt window, and you might be able to see that the border of the command prompt window is now bright red, indicating that's the area that you're going to take a picture of. So to take the picture of just the command prompt window, you just simply click once with the left mouse button. Now, with the snipping tool, what it will do is it will copy a picture into a window of the snipping tool so you can edit that picture somehow or even save it to a file. And if you look, the arrow for your pointer has disappeared, and the only thing you have, if you can see it move, is this dot, and that's part of the editing tools for the snipping tool. If I move back up here to the title bar, I get my arrow back. Now, we're not going to be saving this picture to a file. This is just an extra thing that the snipping tool does for you that we're not going to use. What we're going to do is we're now going to paste that picture into PowerPoint. Now, on my taskbar, I have the PowerPoint icon pinned to the taskbar, so I can always get to it. But if you don't have that, you can just simply go to the search bar again and type the word power, and that will do a search for PowerPoint or anything that has the word power in it. So you'll get several things returned in the search, and one of them will be PowerPoint. Now, I'm going to be using PowerPoint 2016, as it says here, which is the latest version of PowerPoint, but these steps will all work with older versions of PowerPoint as well, all the way back to version 2007. Now I'm going to click on this once. That will start PowerPoint. And PowerPoint, if you've never used it, always starts this way in what's called the backstage area. Now, all you need to do is simply click on the icon for blank presentation, or on this picture. And that opens up a new presentation. And when you open up a new presentation, you always get one slide automatically. That's called the title slide. And in the directions for the homework, I tell you what to type in here. So in the click to add title area, you type in your first and last names. And in the click to add subtitle area, I also tell you what to type there, and it's usually the same format. So I'm going to type CST 120 homework. In this case, I'm going to call it homework 1, even though this isn't exactly what you'll be doing for homework 1. Alright, so I've got that information typed in, so before I actually paste in the picture I took, I need a new slide. And if you have the Home tab selected, you'll notice here is your new slide buttons. There's actually two buttons here. Do not click on the picture button for new slide, even though that will give you a new slide. What I want you to do is click where the text is, new slide, because that gives you options on what type of slides you can insert. And I want you to select the blank slide. Now the reason I'm being picky here is, at least in the past, I get weird problems every so often when somebody gives me a picture of their screen and they don't use the blank slide type. I actually haven't had it happen in a while, but just so nothing weird happens, please use the blank slide. Now, once you've got that blank slide, all you need to do is just simply click the paste button, and there's the picture of my command prompt window. Now, also, at least in version 2016, PowerPoint wants to suggest things to you, so I get this design ideas window. You can, if you get it, you can simply close it. We're not going to use it. Now, don't worry if your picture is small or if it's big, because I can always use what are called resizing handles here on the corners and in the middle to make the picture bigger or smaller as I need. So don't worry about the size of the picture that gets pasted into the slide. I'll just resize it to the size I need. Now the next thing you need to do for this slide, and I described this in the homework, is you need to add some notes. Now, in PowerPoint 2013 and PowerPoint 2016, you have a button at the bottom here called Notes. You just simply click on that, and it opens up an area where you can start typing in literally notes to yourself. But for the homework, I describe what I want you to actually type in there. And for this demonstration, I'll just simply type in open command prompt. Now, prior to PowerPoint 2013, in PowerPoint 2007 and PowerPoint 2010, you'll actually, at this area between the white and the colored area, you'll see a thick gray bar that you can actually drag up and open up the notes area. Now, even in this version, the newer versions of PowerPoint, you can move your cursor over this dividing bar and make this area bigger if you want to. So if you're more comfortable having a larger blank area to type in, feel free to make this notes area bigger. Don't make it real big, don't get crazy like this. Leave it fairly small. If I do need to make it smaller, I can always drag it down. But unless you get really crazy and make it really big, I usually don't have to drag it down any lower. So I appreciate it if you didn't make the notes section very tall. Now, how do you make another print screen? Okay, well, first you need to go back to the command prompt window so that you have that window open and you do the next thing you're going to do. For instance, if I were to type in the date command, and in the very first part of the course packet, it tells you about the date command and what the /t does. All right, so I'm not going to go over that right here. So now to actually get a new print screen, a new snipping picture, since I didn't close out the snipping tool, I'm just going to go down to the taskbar and select that again, and I'm simply going to click New at the top. And here's my snipping tool menu. I could change options if I want to, but as I hover over the command prompt window again, I get my red border, the rest of the screen grays out, and I can simply click on this to create a new picture. Now I can go back to my PowerPoint and I'm going to add a new slide. I'm going to add a blank slide. And for some reason, for this demonstration, it takes a while for the paste button to activate. And I'm not really sure. I have a hard time duplicating the problem, and of course the problem shows up now. Let me go back to my snipping tool. I'll reselect this. I just want to try to force the paste to work, and it's not working. So what I'm going to do is going to go back to the command prompt. I'm going to try to take another snip, and we'll do new. Okay, we'll go back to PowerPoint. There it is. Now, you shouldn't have this problem at all. I'm not sure what's causing it. It does pop up every once in a while for me. Hopefully it won't for you. But that's how you get another picture. And now, since we have the new slide up, we'll just simply click paste, and there's my new slide. And again, design comes up. We'll close that. And I can make this bigger. Now notice at the bottom, I don't have to click the Notes button again. You may have to click the Notes button again in PowerPoint 2013, but I have noticed in PowerPoint 2016 that once you do click the Notes button, the Notes area always stays available to you. And I'm sorry, I don't remember if in PowerPoint 2013 it works that way as well. It may. I just don't remember. Sorry. All right. So that's how you create your homework. The only thing I haven't shown you yet is how to save a file. And just hopefully you already know how to do that. But in PowerPoint, up on this top part of the window, you have an icon here for saving. We'll just click that. And it'll ask you where you want to save. Now, by default, it has your OneDrive selected if you're logged into that. I'm simply going to browse and go back to the Documents folder I have on my hard drive. You can save it to your hard drive, you can save it to your OneDrive. It doesn't matter where you save it. You're going to have to upload it to the Dropbox on e-learning, though, after you've completed the homework. But I do want to emphasize Again, I'm being picky, I know, but please use the file format I ask you to in the homework. So it's would be your last name, and you can use an underscore or dash. I'm going to use a dash, mark, and I had already been testing out some things previously, so it already has homework 1 listed there, but I'm just simply going to type that in. And notice there's a .pptx here. In this course, you'll be finding out about something called file extensions. I have them turned on my version of Windows, so they're usually always showing. But for this, all you have to do is stop typing there, and it automatically uses that file extension for PowerPoint files. And I'm just going to select Save. And it tells me it already exists. Do you want to replace it? I'm going to say yes. So if you do multiple saves, go ahead and save over your old files if you want to. Be careful not to wipe out any previous information. But that's all I'm going to demonstrate in this, how to do a print screen using the snipping tool, and how to create your PowerPoint, how to save it. So, thanks for watching.